Hi, I'm Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm here with this Festive Corners Shabby Halloween card. Let's get on to the creating, and then you can shop the card in the description below. So to start, we're going to use the Parisian Flourish 3D embossing folder. And the sandwich for embossing that with the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is the number 1 plate, the number 4 specialty plate, your embossing folder with the cardstock inside, and the number 3 plate. If you're using a different die cutting machine, click the video referenced here in this video and for suggestions for the sandwich you'll need. So I've used that Parisian Flourish embossing folder to emboss a piece of basic gray, and you can see the lovely dimension there. I've got my Whisper White craft ink and a sponge dauber, and we're just going to highlight the raised portion of the design here. And we're almost done. This is quick and easy. Okay, so we're going to set that aside and move on to the next bit. Let me close up my craft ink and move it out of the way. Next, I've used the wreath builder dies, both the leaves and the little sprigs here. And I've cut 2 basic black and 1 basic gray. And I'm going to use my Wink of Stella pen and kind of zhuzh this up a little bit with some sparkly This is quick and easy and adds a little something. Just shake my pen again and give it another little squeeze. You will have to squeeze and refill the brush from time to time as you use your Wink of Stella. And if you're new to Wink of Stella, don't forget to remove the black ring when you first open the brush pen, or it doesn't come out. And that's a common problem for people to not realize that black ring needs to come out. And we're almost done here. Okay, let's cap that up and move these off to the side. Next, I've used the Autumn Essentials dies and cut this little pumpkin, and then I've used the Wrapped in Texture embossing folder, this one with the smaller grouping of dots on a piece of Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to do the same thing and give this a little brush with my Wink of Stella and set it aside. So now let's do some stamping. Okay, so next we're going to use the Festive Corners stamp set for our sentiment. And I've got a piece of basic gray, and I've got my Festive Corners stamp set, and I've used a piece of washi tape here to mask off. And I'm inking with my Versamark, and I'm just going to go back and forth a couple of times before I pull my mask off. There are no second chances here. And then I look like I'm centered, and give this a press, rub all the way across. Whoops, there we go. And then let's pull my piece of scrap paper in and sprinkle with silver Stampin' Emboss powder. Oops. And let's make sure that we get all of that covered. Looks like with my dump, I missed part of it. Give it a little flick. And then I'm going to take this and heat set with my heat tool. And I'll be heating from behind to keep from blowing any of the particles of the Stampin' Emboss powder around before they set. So I'll be right back. So my sentiment is heat embossed, and then I've got the banners Pick-a-Punch. This is in the August through December Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, and I'm just lining up the very ends. I've got them centered here, and then I'm pulling back just a smidge because I just want the very end of this punched. I measured the banner the length that I want, which was 3 inches, I believe. And so I don't want to nip off any extra length. And then I've also got a banner, or we're going to make it a banner here, from Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to do the same thing, just using the very edge rather than pushing this all the way up to the stop. You can do either way. If you push it all the way to the stops, you will need to cut a longer piece of cardstock to account for that. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and curl the ends of my banner up. Give this just a little hump in the middle. And the same thing on this one. Curl the ends of this up. And then a little bit of hump in the middle. And then we're going to use some multi-purpose glue to adhere this together just in this center section. Okay, just making sure that the glue is actually adhering. There we go. Now, let's start and assemble our card pieces. I've got a Blackberry Bliss base and a piece of Whisper White for the inside, and then this accent strip of Blackberry Bliss. Just checking to see that I'm straight. Okay. And same thing here. Check your top and 2 sides, and then your bottom will be straight. And I tend to rub from the centers out to the edge. Okay. And then we're going to add our embossed layer. And I've got my black Stampin' Dimensionals for this. They won't show out from underneath of dark paper on dark paper. Even the debossed side of this embossing Parisian Flourish embossing folder is gorgeous. Okay, and just pull all of our backing papers off. And again, we're centering. Okay, and then let's look at our wreaths here. Let me sweep my dimensional backings out of the way. They don't need to be part of this. So I'm just going to dot some glue on this, the gray sprig wreath. And lay it on here. And then we're going to turn this a bit. We want everybody to show. And you're just coming right in here on the, I'm going to call it the stem that runs around, and doing a fine bead of the multi-purpose glue. Okay, let's cap that up and move it out of the way for a moment. And then I'm going to bring these mini black Stampin' Dimensionals in here and pop these around. I may be putting on more than I need, but I'd rather do that than have the wreath fall off my card. Okay, and then of course pull the backings off. Okay, and then we can put our banner on, and we'll just put a full-size black dimensional on either side here. Whoops. And then we need our ribbon before we move on. So I've got my piece of scrap paper here and this crinkled white seam binding, and I've got Blackberry Bliss and Smoky Slate and light black, and then my color lifter. So I'm just going to scribble some of this in, and let's come over here with this, and then I'm looking for kind of a distressed look to go with my card, and of course I don't want any of the white. And let's go with a little bit of black in here. And I think I want just a little more of this light Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to pull on a little bit more gray. And then I'm going to take my color lifter and just color all the way across on this, because I really do want to push a great deal of that ink right on through. So now let's see if I've given myself enough to tie a kind of tattery looking ribbon bow. Okay, Let's grab my scissors. And we'll give this that little angle cut that helps to keep it from thinking markers. Keep it from fraying. Put my scissors away over here and move this. And then we're going to use glue dots. We're going to use a couple of them behind the bow here. And that'll help it to both keep from untying and to stick in the place that we want it. Oops, I think I've got one of those glue dots on my finger instead of on the bow. So I'm just going to lightly put that in place here. I'd like to make this loop a little smaller than it is. There we go. And where are my black dimensionals over here? Because I want to put that under my pumpkin. So I've got a couple on the back there. And we're just going to pull these little tails down in here just a little bit. And I think I'm going to give them a little bit of a cut. They're just a smidge too long. Okay, so we have our pumpkin and our ribbon, and we're going to add some mini glue dots to the back of the bow here, because we've stuck our pumpkin directly to the ribbon. Okay. Sorry, I want this to all be at an angle, and I'm not getting the angle that I want. There we go. Give it a good push, and it's adhered. And then our distressed looking ribbon here. And then we will finish up with some basic rhinestones. And I've got my take your pick tool right here. And we're just going to add a few in here for to glitz up our Halloween card. And there you go. A little different take. Give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today's card. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell if you would like to be notified the next time I upload a video. And you can shop the card in the description below. Have a great day. Bye.